If we don't do something about this issue, it's only going to get worse. And as you watch me draw this today, learn what we artists did to make the art market feel as screwed up as it is. But also, why are some artists out here killing it, and it's not because they're popular? So, what's the difference? Now, the reason why I wanted to make this video for you today and to help you out is honestly because of some of the rejections and invalidations I've gotten in a lot of my comments on some of my previous videos, which again are just directed at artists just like you to help you do really, really well, because I know that you have these concerns. And so I just want to be honest and direct with you and be as concise as possible in this video, because most videos on the topic of you freelancing are honestly just fluff and ego stroking and telling you that you're doing everything well and just patting you for absolute failure. And I'm not like that. And if you want to learn how to actually do better, this is what will make the difference in any economy and in any market. Let's do this. Just to pull the trigger on this one right out the gate, is that we have this disproportionate amount of care that's run rampant across how you think you should price yourself and what you think that you should be offering. And what this has kind of unfortunately unraveled itself into is this romanticizing poverty and also your budget pricing. And I understand that everybody starts somewhere. I started as somebody who only did $35 commissions. I did that for years, and I understand that life very, very well, which is also why I want to let you know that that can't be done. And I understand, look, you have a great heart. Bless you for that one. Unfortunately, your clients don't care about you. And so what I mean is that you will have this overwhelming regard for them. Oh my God, everything in the world is so expensive right now. I can't afford that. I don't want to make it more expensive for them to afford. That doesn't seem fair to me. And so you'll have all these types of objections to you actually having more competitive prices. But your clients don't care about you. In fact, your clients have no trouble keeping you exactly where you are. Look, they don't care about your financial troubles. They don't care about your debt. They don't care about the fact that you're suffering from any type of financial immobility. They don't care about the fact that you had to move in with your parents. They don't care about the fact that you could probably make more money working at McDonald's than selling your art right now. They don't care about that. All they care about is getting an artwork. And that's it. You can't do that and operate and be somebody who's going to sustain that practice, friend. It's nice, you have a great heart, but your mind for business is suffering from it. You can't do this. You are not greedy for wanting more. In fact, you're going to deliver more by getting more. Now, into this next topic. I don't know who started this one, but I see it all the time in the art community. And I just want to let you know that you selling your art or you getting paid for your art or getting paid for your commissions is not going to improve your mental health. It's really sad when I see people that are in poor mental health try to go into any type of freelance market or sphere and they just don't make it. And then that conflates itself with a lot of other issues that I also want to address today as far as why our clients have bad expectations of artists and how we sell things and what they're going to get from it. And it's because of this direct issue. So please hear me out, friend. If you are in poor mental health, you getting paid any sum of money is not going to help. You being in poor mental health and then getting paid for it, it's not going to bring you into better mental health. You also, in fact, just to be honest with you, especially if you have low value pricing and low value tactics, it's not helping your mental health. It's exacerbating it. It's making it worse. It's also keeping you exactly where you are now. I just want to be honest with you about that because I care about you. So if you are in this boat and you are in poor mental health, no shame on you, but address it, because money only solves money problems. And if you're expecting any type of freelance or art business work to go ahead and solve that problem, it won't. And I don't think you should start, honestly, until you address that, because it matters more. Next, I'm going to get pretty irate about this topic because honestly, it drives me up a wall. But you giving low quality customer service and a poor customer experience to your clients or other artists, specifically if this hasn't been you, friend, is usually one of the reasons why clients have very low expectations of us and also why they would prefer to use AI over us. And I mean that. And so I'm specifically talking about those artists that can't deliver to a client, that they get paid and then they don't deliver, or that they ghost their clients. And I'm not saying like you accidentally forgot, but again, if you accidentally forget about a client, that usually means that you took on way too many at a time. And therefore you should have priced up more and therefore disqualified some people to get more qualified people. And then compounding that too, then you have artists that don't speak nicely, that don't speak professionally, that don't handle themselves professionally. And again, not everybody wants to nor should enter this realm of freelancing and handling clients, because honestly, in doing this, you're entering a realm of customer service. If you don't like working with people, if you don't like talking to people, if you don't enjoy the work of this, then this is perhaps not going to be the best art realm for you. And there are a lot of other things you could do. Another thing too is that I see a lot of artists that expect their clients to be their therapists when their mental health takes a crash. That's not their concern. If you have an issue, that's your issue, not their issue. And again, if you've done this, I'm sure you didn't mean to, but we all need to be professionals out here, all right? We can do better. Somebody paid you for work. You need to deliver or you need to return. And it's really just that simple. But this really did shape and mold a lot of negative opinions, and it's our fault. So let's not be a part of the problem anymore. Next, I want to talk about how many clients that you're currently getting and what does that do for you. And so what a lot of artists have done in the current art market is that they don't have an art business, they have an art busyness. And just to delineate between the two, an art business is when you have a good sustainable income, you have consistency, and you have some projections as far as what you can do, as well as you could scale it. An art busyness is that type of person, and it's okay if it's you, because I was there too, doing way too many clients, opening way too many slots, doing way too much work. It's okay. But learn how to actually exist and do so much better than this, and why you need to stop this practice. If you are somebody who has more than 10 slots right now open, if you're somebody that's handling 100 clients a year, if you're somebody right now that has a plethora of clients at a really low price tag, you don't have a business, you have a busyness. You like to be busy. You like to have that validation metric of I've got a lot of people that will pay me, even just fractions. But we need to flip this on its head, friend, because just consider this, right? Let's just keep this easy. Let's say that you want to make $500, okay? Well, you could go ahead and do 50 $10 artworks. You could also do 25 $20 artworks. You could also do 10 $50 artworks. You could do 5 $100 artworks. You could do 2 $250 artworks. My point here is this. You need to think about what your goals are and how much it takes for you to hit them. Because just real talk here, if you have an art busyness, you're not putting your best into your clients, you're not putting your best into your artwork, you're not putting your best into your growth. You're just staying busy, and what that unfortunately does is it just numbs you to the reality of what you've toxically set up for yourself, which are awful working conditions. And if I'm calling you out on this one, it's okay, because I've been there too. I know how that works. And it's okay if you start there, but start to remove yourself from it and get out of there. You can do it. Next, think in years, not days. And what I mean by this is that you might have some success right now. Look, if you're a college kid out here and you're able to get some commissions and you're able to get some work, like, you rock. That's awesome. Like, you go. I am so proud of you. But what I typically see a lot of people kind of get caught up in, and I think this relates to just a lot of nasty comments I've got on some of my recent videos on this, is that they're going to defend their current practices, not because they work, but because they work right now. And I would just advise this to you as somebody who's been doing this for over a decade, who's been scaling their pricing for over a decade, that again, doesn't make hundreds of dollars. I make thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars doing this. And I want to help you start to be on that road. And that's just not a humble brag. I say that number either. I just want to let you know realistically and qualify myself for you, my friend. But you need to understand that that will work for you and be awesome for you right now. Like, again, if you're young, if you're in college, if you live with your parents, any sum of money is fantastic. You can go out and buy a game. You go ahead and go out to a movie with your friends. You go and do that. Awesome. Great. Your current practices, though, are not going to last usually for more than a couple of years, without you needing to actually do something different about it. And so what I see a lot of artists unfortunately get caught up in, I saw this in a lot of my comments that were really dissenting and differing of opinions on or defending awful practices, like I really try and help you through, friend, is they're gonna defend it with their ego. And I get that. Like, I'm not attacking you in this video. I'm not saying you're worthless. If you're doing $15 commissions, okay, we can go up from there. I'm not shaming you for it. I just want you to see that there's a road out of that. There's a better way to do this. That's all. But combating any type of potential practice because of your ego is going to hurt you long term. Like, just as an example, friend, you might be doing great right now because of your current practices or whatever your price point is, but here are some realities of life. What if you want to move? What if you want to get a better place to live? What if you want to go ahead and, I don't know, have a child or get married or, move out of your parents' house? Or how about this? Do you want to retire someday? Because you doing $20 commissions ain't going to help that. It's where you start, it's not where you end. And choosing to sustain those practices for, honestly, more than 6 months to a year, I just want to say it bluntly, it's a choice. And look, I don't pretend to know everything. I just honestly know more than a lot of other people because most artists don't last in a freelance market beyond 2 to 5 years. Because they start to burn out because they realize the toxicity of what they've created and they trick themselves into thinking that it can't work. When it can, it just can't work under their current practices. I say all of that with love because I care about you and I really want you to succeed, but the way you're doing it just might not be it, so don't murder me for my honesty here because nobody is telling you this stuff. And you know why? Because they want you to not compete with them. I want you to do better. Next, I want to talk to you about how to actually scale your prices and why most artists don't. Because you need to understand that you starting whatever you're starting at and staying at those starting prices after 3 jobs is a choice. It's not the market or the economy or anything else I'll talk about today. It is your choice. And so what I typically see people do wrong is they'll do one of 2 things. First off is that they will open commissions and they'll get their first, they'll get their second, they'll get their third, and then their 30th, and it's like pretty much the same exact flat level pricing. And that's not how you're supposed to do it, okay? Generally, the way that it goes is I understand how you're gonna feel about this too. You're gonna be like, okay, well, my first one, oh, that was a fluke. My second one, oh, I'm lucky. My third one, oh, just realize that third one kind of proves now I have a metric, now I have proof, now I have evidence. I can go ahead and I can price up from there, and you should. And then that also compounds itself with another thing that I really recommend that you do, which is you should never have 3 jobs all priced the same way, especially when you're working on them all at once. Watch this. So you should always have kind of a stepped approach. And so let's just say that you have 4 clients and they all came to you around the same time for relatively the same work. Let's keep numbers easy. Let's say that you want to do character designs for every single one of them. Let's say that your base price, just to keep numbers easy, is $100. So your first one, that's going to be your base price for them. Of course, you can price up from there. And then your second one, you can also keep that lateral. That's also $100, so it's a pretty wide step. And then your next one, your third one from there, you should go up 10 to 25%. So that would be $110 or $125 base price. And then for your fourth client, you should go up one more time, 10 to 25%. So that would hit you around $150 to $175. And so why would I suggest this? Because this is good sales tactics. And also it's not because you're greedy in this sense, but it's because you have to split your mental load. You have to split your time, split your attention, focus on it. And if you're really going to actually care about the work and actually put metrics to improve your work every single time, you must go ahead and price up. Otherwise, that just, again, keeps you flatline. And if you're not sure how to do stuff like this better, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe because I'm here for you every single week on how to do this realistically, sustainably, and long-term, not short-term, as we'll talk about today too. And hey, if you like this, please share with artists that you know, because I want to get this word out to people. I don't gatekeep any of my information on how to do better like this. And if this really helps you, hit that hype button to tell YouTube, push it out to more. Moving on, one of the worst practices that we've done is we've taught art clients, not all our clients, but a significant number of them, to expect you to lead with your prices. And this is one of the worst things that we trained audiences to want to have from us. Some clients will expect you to just go ahead and shove your price tag out there like you're a McDonald's drive-thru, and you're like, I'll get one character background, oh, but minus the color, and I want to also go ahead and add this pet on. Oh, and by the way, can I get a side of a weapon? And that's the worst model for pricing any artwork. Listen, I really want to help you with this one. These are low value tactics for high value product. And so just to put it out there, art in and of itself is a necessity to human life. Like, it's a necessity to culture. There's no culture that has ever existed that did not have a thriving artistic community in it. However, though, as you are going to be offering it as a service, is a luxury good. And you cannot have a luxury product or service and have it as a budget product or service. It doesn't work. And so what we've done, unfortunately, is that a lot of us have trained clients to think of us like we are the Dollar General. And they just walk in and we see all the prices and everything you can add on to it. And it just doesn't make sense, y'all. You cannot proceed like this. If you're doing this, that's okay. But honestly, like, you showing your pricing is a super low value tactic for a high value product or service. And that will not sustain you, friend. If you're doing this, look, I used to do it too. I used to have my commission sheet. I'm gonna tell you why that's an awful practice today. And if you're doing that right now, that's okay. But realize that that's not something that you're gonna be able to keep long term, especially if you actually want to succeed and do better. Moving on, I wanna explain to you why your lack of salesmanship is directly proportionate to your ability to grow your business or not. And this is in direct response. Somebody in one of my last videos criticized me for having the opinion that artists should be better at sales and should have more salesmanship. And I said, yes, absolutely, they should. In fact, I believe that you need to in order to enter any type of art business. And so here's why. Hear me out. Because if you don't have any form of salesmanship, if you are avoiding talking to clients like we'll talk about, if you're avoiding having conversations, if you're avoiding actually delivering a really high quality customer service experience to everybody, then you are capped, you are stonewalled from ever growing your business. And yes, I understand that there are some artists out here that are more awkward or that do struggle socially. I used to be that person. I'm just gonna not even sugarcoat this. I used to be completely socially inept. I used to have absolutely no idea how to talk to people. And then I learned how to sell. And I learned how to talk to people. And if you're in that boat, let this please just be encouraging to you. You can do that too. But let me just put this out to you plainly. Your success is relative to your ability to communicate effectively with another human being. And on that note too, if you're not sure how to sell luxury services and products like art at a really high level, I just want to suggest this to you because this is how I learned how to do it. Get out of the art YouTube sphere, all right? I'm not even gonna lie about it. It's over-dominated, oversaturated with a lot of frauds and phonies and people that are starting out just like you, and it's a big aggravation of mine. Like, you're gonna get a lot of advice on this platform and other video platforms about how to do commissions by some cute little VTuber model bouncing around the screen that can't even get $50 to $100 for their commissions, but they're gonna tell you how to do it, and then they're gonna get millions of views on it just because it's flashy. And that's stupid and losing advice. That was my aggravation when I started this channel, is like, nobody actually helps. It's all fluff and nonsense. And so if this is you, get out there and watch channels that are outside the art sphere that actually teach sales and teach marketing. And don't watch people that can make tens or hundreds of dollars. Watch people that can sell millions of dollars. They're the ones that are really gonna push you to understand how do you actually do this at a way more sustainable and growable level. Because I'm just gonna be honest, I don't wanna take any advice from somebody that doesn't even get a PayPal W-2 at the end of the year because they don't make enough sales. Now I gotta address this big ugly elephant in the room, and I wanna let you know that your adherence to staying and using a commission sheet is the most limiting practice, and it's honestly one of the reasons how we have trained clients to expect low level, low value service from us. And here's why. Everybody usually starts out with this. It's almost like the freelance artist starter pack. Like, here's your commission sheet, here are your prices, here's your terms of service that honestly doesn't matter and nobody cares about and nobody will read anyways. But honestly, using the commission sheet for an extended period of time, especially years, is staying at the starting line. And this is in direct response to one of my previous videos about why you should never use a commission sheet, because honestly, you'll do loads better without one than you will with one. Check with anybody that's ever done this in my comments, on my channel, on my mentorship page, which you can find a link down below in the comments, by the way. And you'll find people that have 2x, 5x, 10x to their business from this practice. And that could be you too. Commission sheets and selling your product with the price right in everybody's face sets up a really, really bad precedent for how people should perceive art and also for how you need to degrade yourself in order to sell it. Again, if you're doing this, I get it. If you're using this, I understand. I did it too for years. But if you are currently using a commission sheet, you do need to wean yourself off at some point. And if you're in heavy defense of this, I understand why, and I am going to address that today too. But overall, please just know it's not going to help you long term. It's a very short term practice. And that's what it's designed to be, and it should be. Next, I think that you never learned how you should actually level up your prices. Okay. And look, I get this because there's like a lot of people that gatekeep this information or paywall it as far as how you should go about this. But here's my advice for you, friend. You majorly need to understand that every single time you get 2 artworks, you should start to level up your pricing from there. And it doesn't matter where you're at or what price point you're at, or can I be honest, even what skill level you're at. A lot of artists unfortunately think that they're not good enough to go ahead and do this, that they're not good enough to go ahead and level up their prices, which I also want to just be honest and tell you that that's usually just because you're compounding other bad practices together, like having too many clients and such. But here's how this can work. And so let me just give you a hard example of this. Let's say that, just to keep math easy, you charge $50 because you're brand new starting out. Well, after your first 2, you should level that up to 60. After your next 2, go up to 75. After your next 2, go up to 80. After your next 2, go up to 90. After your next 2, go up to 100. And then after your next 2, go up to 120. Just keep scaling it slow. A lot of artists think that they need to go ahead and keep their pricing level. That's not a winning strategy. And that's also not something that you're going to be proud of. And no, it doesn't matter what market or economy that we're in. People will do this, people will buy it, and you can do it too. By the way, this is also why a commission sheet is a lethal practice to this, because you putting your prices out for everybody and what your base price is, that should be kept for you. Let you know what that is, and so that you have a reference guide for yourself, not for everybody else to gauge you on, because once you start getting stacked clients, you should be doing this anyways. See how that works? Next, a major bottleneck that you're going to inevitably come to when you're freelancing is that you are afraid to have a conversation first. And I'm not reiterating my previous point about customer service, but I do need to let you know this very specifically. If every single time somebody reaches out to you and you slap out your prices like you are an excited teenager on prom night and you just want to get down to business, that is a major bottleneck for you. That is not a luxury style service. That's not what people expect. And honestly, at a certain price point, you're going to turn people off from that. And so the way everything should work is that you need to have a heavy qualifying conversation with people before you go ahead and you give out your prices. I know this sounds scary, and it's not super salesy. It's very conversational the way I teach it. I teach it in some of my videos. They're linked down below in the description of this video, by the way, too. You can get my exact script and my training on exactly how it goes. There's no cost for it. It's totally free. I put it out there for you to help you. But the way that it should work is that you need to actually slow the conversation. You need to elongate the conversation. And I understand your hesitation because you're going to say, oh, Sean, what if I waste my time? Friend, you are never wasting your time in talking to a prospect. That is not a waste of time. That's training. That's you training yourself on how to talk to people. That's you choosing the right words, choosing the right phrases. That's you learning what actually works, what hooks, and what doesn't. Every single thing that you do is not a waste of time when you're learning it. Just because you get a no at the end of that shouldn't make you feel bad. If I'm going to be honest with you, you should be getting more no's than yeses. Otherwise, you know what that means? That means that you're too cheap. and that you could get more. And if you want to deliver a high quality experience, if you want to take care of your customers better, if you want to, how about feel good for once about how much money you're going to get? Like, wouldn't you love to feel proud about that? Because I remember when I was making $35 per work, I didn't feel good. I felt like it was a waste of my time. I felt like I was being underpaid. And this is one of the key things that you have to do for it. Will some people not want to reach out to you? Yes. To be honest, pretty much every single one of those people are just cheap clients. And yeah, some higher paying clients will not buy you because you won't put out your pricing without a conversation. That's okay. You need to let them go because, again, we trained the art market to expect that. Now we need to untrain them. And it's up to you. Now, let me tell you how the Red Sea effect killed professionalism within the art market. If you've never heard of that, it's basically the marketing effect where you have everybody out in a very hot market where what everyone is doing is that they're undercutting everybody else's prices in order to try and attract everybody to come to them. And what I can't help but notice is that literally every single site that forces you to go ahead and put out your pricing suffers from this. I'm talking about Fiverr. I'm talking about artisan clients. I'm talking about Artistry. Hate that website. It's awful. Get off it. I made a whole video about why you should. And then I'm even skeptical of VGen. I don't like that about it. I am going to make a review very soon about VGen. If you're interested in that, let me know about it down below. But you will never sustain yourself, feel good about yourself, nor will you actually want to continue to make art if you're always undercutting your prices to fit everybody else. In fact, if you're in a Red Sea market right now, get off of it. It's the most terrible thing for you. And again, like, I'm not 100% on what VGen's validity is, but I'm definitely going to take a hardcore dive into it. But I just have never seen anybody succeed with these. I've seen a lot of people give up. I've seen a lot of people burn out. I've seen a lot of people quit. And I don't want that to be you. And again, just to revisit this idea, you shouldn't be taking tons of clients. You should be taking less clients at more money. But this Red Sea effect trained audiences to think that we're supposed to be doing mass quantities of work for very minimal prices. And that's not right. And we need to stop supporting all of the platforms that make this happen. Instead, we need to turn this into a professional practice. Now I want to advise you on why we as artists started to also conflate our popularity with our potential. And this is the wildest thing I've ever really dealt with. Because honestly, like, you might see me here on YouTube, but I also want to let you know that I have zero following outside of this platform. Like, nobody really cares. I'm completely invisible. And yet, over the last 10 years, I've been able to get very consistent clients at consistently scalable prices and consistently get better clients. And no, I don't rely on word of mouth. No, I don't rely on repeat customers all the time. And no, there's no secret backdoorsy world that exists. So no reverse art black market out here where like people just know who I am. No credibility. I never worked in a AAA company before either. And on the other hand though, we have so many artists that think, well, I don't have this, or I don't have that many followers, or nobody pays attention to me, or I don't have the views, and so therefore I can't charge what I want. Sean, that's impossible. And I want to be that voice of reason, maybe the first person that'll be honest with you and tell you, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. And as you're looking at my art right now, I was really mediocre when I started 10 years ago too. And nothing has changed. There are artists out here just like you that are doing really well and that aren't at the best skill level. And you can be amongst them too. And if you want to learn how to go ahead and grow your art business without social media, go ahead and check out this video right here because it'll teach you the most real stuff that nobody else will tell you. Thanks so much for watching. If this helped you, share with somebody that you know. Thanks so much and see you next time.